Okay. Good evening, Corona Daze Professional Development Group. It's me, Danette Edwards. I'm here this evening with Mr. Corey Byrd. He's the
How y'all
chief.
doing?
He's the Chief Innovative Officer for Joseph Consulting Firm, LLC. Corey is also the Chief Executive Officer of savvysavagesuniversity. This evening, he's going to lead the second day of Awakening the Entrepreneur in You. His topic tonight is motivation or madness. He's going to go over how to get motivated, how motivation can keep you inspired on your entrepreneurial journey, how to remain motivated while starting a business. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Mr. Byrd. Corey Byrd is a native Houstonian and a U.S. Navy veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. Corey is currently the Innovative Officer for Joseph Consulting Firm located in Houston, Texas. Within the company, Corey utilizes his knowledge of graphic design as well as audio and visual production. Corey Byrd is dedicated and passion-driven to make a positive impact within the business marketing industry. So you know me, I'm gonna turn it right over to Mr. Byrd. I'm turning it over, Mr. Byrd. I'm muting myself, turning my video. Guys, Corey has said that he will take questions during his presentation, so send them to me and I will get them to him. Okay? Thank you. I'm turning.
Oh man. Sheesh. Hello. That was a wonderful introduction. I might have to take you on the road with me one day. Sheesh, Ms. Danette. I appreciate that wonderful introduction. Like she did state, I am Corey Pops Byrd. Pops is what majority of my people call me, but Corey Byrd for the professionals, the 9-to-5ers. I want to welcome you guys. I want to welcome myself, self-employed, self-entrepreneurs here in the building or on the Zoom. Sorry, we're not in the building. Corona joke, don't trip. Hey, but anyway, I'm sorry. But yes, I am Corey Byrd, the Chief Innovative Officer with Joseph Consulting Firm. I was here nominated to come and present you guys about motivating yourself and being motivated while conducting business or beginning your business endeavor. Because I know, not everyone is geared upon, just self-motivation and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to jump out there and I'm going to create this business of mine, and I'm going to be this great business-oriented individual. No, it's not that easy. I know. Sometimes you need to find a special quote. Sometimes you may come across someone that you have been paying attention to, and they can give you insight on how to tap into your greatness or your gifts, your talents, your jewels. And over at Joseph Consulting Firm, we like to drop nuggets and jewels. Nuggets and jewels, jewels and nuggets. That's what we pride ourselves on. And me, being the energetic person that I am, the marketing and promotions guru or mogul, because Candace Joseph is the guru and I am the marketing mogul. But being the mogul that I am, I have to have the energy and I have to be able to be as positive-minded and open-minded to the possibilities of greatness and being awesome and sharing my awesomeness with the universe. So one thing that that every entrepreneur should do is tap into a motivational source, a source that keeps them level and in a creative mindset, because you have to be creative in order to run a business. You have to be savvy. You have to know how to use different intricate aspects of your business or your market to catch the attention. But how can you do that if you're not motivated? So I have a quote from John C. Maxwell, and it reads, "You don't overcome challenges by making them smaller, but by making yourself bigger." You have to always remember, you are bigger than any obstacle that comes before you. That's in life, that's in business, that's in whatever you encounter in life. If you put yourself above the situation, and know that you can overcome it. That's half the battle. So when saying that, you have to know when you wake up, today is going to be a great day. It's motivating within itself. That's motivation within itself. That's telling yourself, proclaiming to yourself that whatever goes on, it's going to be a good day, whether they deem it good or bad. In perspective, per se. So, not to get off track, back to the motivation of entrepreneur, being motivated in entrepreneurship. Let's define what motivation is. Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. Motivation involves the biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate behavior. In everyday usage, the term motivation is frequently used to describe why a person does something. The question here is, why am I even thinking about creating a business? Why? What am I doing it for? Who am I doing it for? That should be the ultimate goal that motivates you to get your mind into a mindset of going out and stepping out on that faith and creating that business, or tapping deeper into that what you call the hobby that really should be a business, because you have that uniqueness that you bring with whatever craft that you have been hobbying. So again, what drives you is why you're doing the business that you're doing. But if you don't know your why, then how else will you be motivated? How else are you going to even have the energy to think about the business or the venue that you were inspiring to do, not even that you was thinking about doing? So you need to know, what is it that's making me feel the way I feel when I think about this candy company, or I think about this consulting firm, when I think about this marketing group, when I think about this logo company, or this sign. Why do I want to do this so bad? And see, my drive is, I love to see people happy. I love to see people smile. So that is one thing that motivates me to conduct business. This is one thing that motivated me to step out on faith and create my marketing and promotions firm. That is one thing that motivates me to be able to service my graphic design experience out to the public. Because without that, I could just be like, oh, okay, man, I'm just gonna, make a picture or two when I feel like it. And yeah, but that's not what I want. I want more. I want to share my knowledge through my graphic design. I want to be able to communicate and set a platform through creative arts. That's what motivates me. That's what drives me. And seeing people that came before me utilize the same tools that I have been equipped with, I want to continue that legacy. Okay. Now, there are 4 different types of motivation. I want everyone to grab this right here. There are 4 different types. The 4 different types are extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, introjected motivation, identified motivation. Okay, I'm gonna define each one. Extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside us. We do it because we are impelled to. For example, because we are told to by someone who has power over us. Many employment motivation systems work on the principle of extrinsic reward, where people are bought and then command it. While this is effective for simple activities, it is less useful when you want a person to be self-driven. Now, we're talking about motivations, right? Because we have different people that have different motivations in life. You might just be motivated to go and get your check, a guaranteed check from your 9 to 5 or your part-time job. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But that motivation is at some point going to burn you out, and it's going to leave you with a, why? What else can I be doing? Type of moment in your life. So it's like I think we've all encountered that too, because we wanted to get out there, we wanted to establish ourselves, and we wanted to make an impact financially and status wise. But then it comes a point sometimes somewhere in your life, especially when you are creative minded yourself and you feel like you can implement things that can make a product or a service greater. You step out of that box and you walk into the intrinsic motivation. And the intrinsic motivation is done for internal reasons. For example, to align with values or simply for the hedonistic pleasure of doing something. In work, people are intrinsically motivated by working for an inspiring leader or in areas where they have a personal interest. Boom. So now, we've got companies, okay, you might be motivated to go and, clock in, clock out. But then it might come to a point where you're motivated to align yourself with someone of a like interest that is making an impact within the community as far as business and manufacturing and producing. So therefore, you're not just so much engaging in starting your own business, but you're engaging in working within the business realm, because that's where you gain your mentors. That's where you discover different other aspects of what you are interested in, which becomes a motivation. You may then be motivated to, okay, I like the energy that this person receives when they make a sale or they appease a customer. You might want that's motivation. That's energy. Everything about being an entrepreneur and awakening your entrepreneurial mindset is about energy. If you don't have the energy, you're not going to be able to conduct yourself in proper positive business. You must have energy. You must be enthused about what you're doing, and you must be prepared for what you're doing, because it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to endure a lot of kickback, backlash, because you're not going to please everyone. So what you have to be able to motivate yourself. You have to be able to adapt to the climate of your season. Every market goes through seasons. Not every season is going to be like the summer, like beach weather. It's not. Every season is not going to be peachy cream. So therefore, you have to be motivated. Now, the third motivation is introjected motivation. Introjected motivation is similar to intrinsic motivation in that it is internalized. The distinctive aspect of this is that if it is not done, then the person feels the tension of guilt. And that's where you come to, let me go ahead and get this DBA. Let me go ahead and buy the utensils and the tools in order for me to open this business. That's the motivation. That's the motivation that comes when you're like, you know what? Okay, I've been thinking about this. If I don't do it now, I'm not going to be able to do it. That motivation, you got to tap into that. It's not there just to be there. It's there because it is trying to permeate the greatness that you have for the universe. One thing I always share with people that are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, that are thinking about starting their business, is the simple fact of you have something to offer the universe. Your presence matters. No, business is not for everyone. It's not. But you do have a service. It doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar conglomerate, type of service or business. It could be your local mom and pop. Hey, everyone in the neighborhood needs someone that's, able to get goods and services or necessities to the people. That's you. Whether it be shoes to food, whatever it is, electricity, whatever it is, business is business. When you're interacting with the people and you're rendering a service, or you're giving yourself, outsourcing yourself, you're in business. I always tell my people, you are money. They're like, oh man, I don't have any money. Like, no, what do you mean? You are money. Now, when are you going to tap into your ATM though? That's the question. When are you going to tap into your ATM? You are the money. When are you going to bring that greatness out of you and share your greatness with the universe? When? I mean, time waits for no man, right? Okay, since time waits for no man, let me explain this identified motivation. Identified motivation. Identified motivation is where a person knows that something needs doing, but has not yet decided to do anything about it. And we are a lot of people. Me, myself, I know I have a problem with it as well. We could sit on the idea, we could sit on the concept, and we just don't tap into it. Why? Is it because we don't make the time for it, or we're underestimating its greatness? What is the problem? Why are we doing that? And that's where you tap in and you say, as Bruce Lee say, be like water. Be like water and form that idea into what it needs to be. Because without that, someone is missing out. Because we were put here to each reach and teach. And believe it or not, in business, that is what you're doing. You're teaching in some form, faith, or fashion. Now, if there are any questions as far as what personally I do to be motivating, or what, just give me some questions.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some questions. So, here I am. So, what if I'm an artist and a writer, and I know I can do that, but I never sold my work before.
Never sold your work.
Yeah, how do I get motivated or enough courage enough to start selling my work?
Again, you would ask yourself, why am I writing? Who am I writing for? Because you could keep that in your mind and you could write the books for yourself. But you're physically writing these manuscripts for who?
Yeah.
For what? And it needs to be, if you're able to put it out, you should be able to share it. Now, battling with the price or the cost, the value of it,
that's another whole thing, but just getting the courage or being motivated enough to say, I can sell this. You know, I know it's going to be a whole nother thing, but I hear you. Going back to the why will help with that.
Right. And if you, as a writer, I'm pretty sure you've shared those thoughts and those pieces, right?
Well, this isn't my question.
No, because okay, well, I mean I'm because I'm asking myself if I'm a writer and I've written, okay, because I make myself transparent to the point. I think of bring it to myself. If I'm a writer and I've taken the time to write these manuscripts, 9 times out of 10 I've allowed someone somewhere to read.
Probably gave them away for free.
Boom, and to get the feedback.
Okay.
And to see the feedback for me, that it's the feedback for me, because it's like you never know what you've written, the smallest of thought. You probably thought it was nothing, it was mundane, that this person valued for life. And that's a very rich value. That's something that needs to be marketed.
Okay, so I have a bunch of questions. All right. Okay. Sorry, my dog is on the squeak toy, so we might hear her.
All right. Love the animals. Let them live.
What personal issues have you had to endure on your journey?
Whew. Man, you're gonna always get the why are you doing that? That don't make sense. You're just that's just a hobby. Like, no, you're not understanding. It might seem or appear or come off as a hobby to you, but I see this in my sleep. You know, everyone, when they have something, a vision, or they've been shown something, or they have a passion for something, you see it on a constant. And at some point, you have to click on to what it is and step out, right? And once you step out, it's not going to always come together, that full baby everyone is looking for, because it's a process. So they like, what is the point of you doing that? I don't know. You may not want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Those dream killers.
Those dream killers. You have to be aware of the dream killers, because it's 2 ways you could take it. You could take it for face value, which you do need to kind of hear what they're saying to retrospectively get the perspective. But then you also need to know that your vision is not theirs.
All right. I love that one.
You have to keep everything in relative form. Stay in reality.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for me, I know just launching Savvy Savages University, it took some years. And it was always something probably out of my control or something I miscalculated on. And it was like, yo, you sure you still doing, like, yeah, this baby is coming.
Yeah.
Baby. And that's the motivation, because it's like, oh, they don't even believe. They think this is a game. And when they see the baby, it's like, oh, yo,
I always knew you could do it.
Beautiful. And it's like, let me go on to the next venture. And that's when everything starts to click.
How do you stay motivated when family doesn't support your business?
Man, you just have to really know within yourself that what you're doing is going to pay off. It's like, again, you see something not everyone else sees.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, I used to always walk around like, yo, I'm gonna make these, I'm gonna design these t-shirts, yo, because my passion, I always wanted to, put my ideas in apparel form. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have this, and everybody go, okay, yeah, where are they, yo? Family like, man, quit, man, you're all right. And when I recently started manufacturing the apparel, they like, oh. And it's like my dad says, it only takes one ripple to create a wave.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't have that faith within yourself, if you don't believe within yourself, it's not gonna work. So you might as well just listen to the family and do something else. But if you know and you believe within your heart of hearts, you keep on going. It doesn't matter what people say. At the end of the day, it really does not matter what people say.
All
It's
right.
all about
So,
what you know.
so what if I believe, but I let them get in my, not just the people, but the circumstances. I let everything like kind of, oh, I'm still working my 9 to 5. Oh, I have kids. Oh, I have to do this. Like, so I kind of let those things get in. How do I stay with that type of belief, that strong belief that this is, like, are there things that I can do to encourage or reinforce that belief in me?
Pray.
Right. Hey.
Hey, this is one thing too for sure. If you don't know, you shall know. The universe is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the universe will manifest things that you or no other person could fathom.
Mm-hmm.
Only if you allow it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to humble yourself. And those are humbling moments because, everyone is telling you, nah, this is so goofy. That's stupid. You shouldn't be doing this. You're wasting your time. That's when you go and you go talk to your creator, whoever, whatever entity that you pray upon, because there's always something bigger than us. I know earlier I said, be bigger than the situation. I'm saying the situation. You're not bigger than the universe. Let's get that understood. But you tap into your spirit, your spiritual one, because this is where the motivation is actually coming from. Because what people don't understand is when you have an idea, we're going to make it simple. When you have an idea, which I call a vision, it's given to you. It's not given to anyone else. And in you getting this vision, you have to tap into the spirit. Like, where is it coming? Like, come on, I don't want to go deep with people,
I
but
hear you.
where is it? What channel that for me to even ignite the thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the universe is giving it to me, the universe is looking for me to permeate this to be shared in my way.
Right. All right. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yes, the feedback is an amazing thing to experience, whether it's big or small.
Right.
Forget about them. You have to live your dream. I'm aware of this scenario.
Right.
They talking about my dog. I know she's killing it with that ball. I'm sorry, guys.
The dog is out there living the best life. Y'all stop.
She
Leave
is
that dog
living her
alone
best
now.
life. Okay, so so we don't have any more questions. I'm gonna take that ball from her when I mute myself. You gonna pick it back up, Mr. Byrd? You have something more to share with us?
Sure.
Okay, let me mute myself and close my screen and get this thing.
All right, so we've covered that part. We've talked about, it gets a little warm. So let's talk about the motivation of, or I'm thinking about starting. Let's do some scenarios. Scenario one. I'm working a 9 to 5. It pays well, but I'm just not satisfied. What do I do? Where do I go? What am I going to do if I don't do this? And it's crazy because I ran into one of my great mentors. I'm not going to name, but one of my great mentors was a corporate, worked in the corporate field, in the corporate world. And he was like, Corey, man, it's nothing greater than owning your own time. And I was like, really? Like, what do you mean, like, owning your own time? He's like, being able to pay yourself for the things that you're good at doing for the amount of time that you feel like doing it. And I was like, okay. And he was running a barbecue stand. But I tell you, that barbecue was ultimately the greatest barbecue you have ever had this side of Houston. All right. And he had a legacy of barbecue makers in his family. And he's like, I was at work and I was just like, it's something else I want to be doing. It's something else I could be doing other than doing this. This is not making me happy. And I always ask people, are you doing what makes you happy? Ultimately makes you happy. We're not talking about the checks. We're not talking about the 401k. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about, are you excited about getting up, going to work for wherever you work for, outside of what you could be doing as your business? Working for yourself. You already work from home 9 times out of 10. I mean, half of us are dealing with Corona, right? Right. So we've already had to be creative and figure out how we were going to build that office at the house. So if we already did that, that's like 5 steps closer to why you should be starting your business, right? Okay. Yeah, since you can't go in the end, that was a crazy scenario because you can't really go in the job right now. You're practically 9 to 5 and from home, but whose work are you doing? Are you accomplishing what you could be accomplishing if you had given yourself more time? That is another motivation that led me to being an entrepreneur. It's like the same time that I'm giving to such and such business or corporation or job, I could be applying to what I have a passion for, to what I enjoy doing. Why not tap deeper into that? That is something that we seem to always put or neglect for ourselves. That's self-care, that's self-love. Like, who is going to keep putting themselves through stressful measures to make a dollar? I mean, I don't want to make it, so, I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5s. 9 to 5s are great. You need those until you generate enough revenue for yourself and you be the greatest entrepreneur that you can be, because you yourself are the value to the world. And why would you silence your greatness and mute your greatness to cover a bill that's going to be here 9 times out of 10, and somebody needs your greatness? Someone needs your presence. My question is, why would you neglect yourself? Hey, everybody needs a planner. I mean, I'm great with creative thoughts, and I'm great with to coming up with a great slogan. But sometimes I need to I need help with planning. I need help organizing. I mean, I need help with the books. That's why you have, your accounting business, your planning business. I mean, don't ever downplay the the importance of what you do. I mean, the smallest things could be the greatest impact, and it's like, that should be a motivation right there. It's like, it's not enough of you out there, so share. I'm just saying, you know. One thing that always motivated me was, again, seeing how I could grow, or how the process extends itself, coming from not knowing something, or not just as far as business, learning the ins and outs of how you can make people happy, how you can reach people, or how the message of whatever, whether it be probably, now I'm not saying, it's some businesses that are not so hot, but it's a message being shared. It's another form of communication, business. Then it's a service. And that's what motivates me to continue, or to even tap into becoming an entrepreneur, is just the interaction with the public. It's knowing that I could be a benefit for the next individual, whether it be from insight or from creative thought to just experience. Because yes, not everyone knows, so therefore they need help, and that's why you have consultants. It's motivation. Like whatever you like, you must tap into your inner self. You must be able to tune out everyone, but also understand that what people are saying is necessary to be heard. Because without the people, you won't have business. You won't be able to practice entrepreneurship, right? Right. You have a consumer, you have a producer. And I'm motivated to be a producer. I'm motivated to be able to produce the solution to whatever various problem a person may have or may need assistance with accomplishing. And with having a motivated mindset, it is something that you have to dig deep within yourself. It's like, it's not for the weak, it's not for the meek. Business is a self-motivating industry, and sometimes you might have to turn on one of those songs that put you in a hustling mindset, or have you in a mindset of producing your greatest product. Hey, or you might have to put on some Mozart. Mozart, the more calm, and people turn on some tunes. It's motivation. You don't always have to be in a quiet place and just like blah blah blah. Hey, motivate yourself through music. Motivate yourself through video game. I mean, hey, I'm sorry, I'm a gamer too. But it's motivation because you also get to tap into another realm of your brain. You got to tap into all aspects of perspective. You must, in order to be the most productive entrepreneur. And don't let time take away your energy. Like, don't put a timeline. Don't get discouraged because it may be taking longer than you expected. I know there come times where you set a goal and you put a date or a time on it, and you like, okay, I gotta have it. It's great to plan. Don't get it twisted. It's great to plan, but sometimes God is manifesting things for you, and it takes a little bit longer for that greatness to boil over or to bubble up. Okay, so you must not allow the time or the time lapse to discourage you. Stay motivated in knowing that what you have is going to impact the world. What you have is necessary. What you bring to the universe is necessary. Your energy, your presence, it is necessary. And you don't have the idea to begin a business or become an entrepreneur for nothing. The idea does not come from just anywhere, as I stated before. You have this idea or you have this nuance of yourself. And the idea of business and entrepreneurship is on your mind for one particular reason and one particular reason only. Be the entrepreneur that you're supposed to be. Like the CEO says, tap into your greatness. Go be great. You feel me? And let the universe know who you are. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was doing
There we
so
go.
good with my tech tonight.
There we go.
I was doing
Yo,
so
nah,
good.
we've been doing great.
Yeah, but I had to mess up there. Okay, guys, drop some questions. I got a lot of comments here, but drop me some questions. I'm gonna go ahead with my 3 questions for Corey. And then I just want to say before I get to those questions, if you're somebody who you don't know what your business is yet, but you know you want to be an entrepreneur, but you just don't know what it is, think about the things that people always ask you for. Think about the things you like to do. Think about the things that people always say, oh, you do that well. Even if you don't like doing it, those are things that you can possibly turn into a business. So if you don't know, but you know that God has put it on your heart that you're supposed to have your own business, but you're not sure, those are ways that you can begin to think about, well, okay, maybe you bake a real good sweet potato pie.
Right.
Y'all know I like to eat.
Everybody asking why. Every time somebody see you, they ask you about this old sweet potato pie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, hey, start out with a sweet potato pie and give out slices for $0.25. It don't matter. It's you starting your business.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and I mean, these days it's so easy it's easy and difficult, but there are ways to get yourself out there. You know, you see people doing this, selling food all the time on Instagram. You know, we used to do it when I grew up. You know, my grandma would do like a Friday fish fry, but we had to hand out flyers or call people. You know,
we're in the age of take a picture. So I mean, you could easily take a picture, post it on Instagram, and get a feedback. Mm-hmm. Feedback, and that is the most motivation that that is the most motivating thing in business, is just getting the feedback that you was not expecting. Mm-hmm. You know, you may think, okay, yeah, I know my pie good, and you know, but I didn't know it hit them like that until someone was like, oh my God, I'm like, yo, really? Word.
I have a question here. So it says, Mr. Byrd, when you have downtime, how do you spend it? Does an entrepreneur really get to rest? It seems like the hustles have to be constant.
Man,
is this a misconception?
No, it's not a misconception. And you honestly, it's like it's waves. And when you're clicking, you have to go with the wave. You stay on it. But at some point, you do have to remind yourself. It may not be like a vacation. It may not be. Just give yourself an hour or 2, 3 hours, 4 hours max. Just sit back, unwind, take a deep breath. Think about something outside of what it is that has your attention. But 9 times out of 10, when you're on fire like that, you never resting. So it's like you have to try to, you know, I'll turn on the radio a little bit. I'll switch up the frequencies or something. Mm-hmm. I try to play a video game or 2 sometime, but it's like when you're clicking on concepts, you're never gonna stop. Mm-hmm. But take a break. You gotta take a break. Everything needs moderation. You can't overdo everything.
All right, guys, if you have anything, drop it in there. I'm gonna go ahead with my questions. So everybody's enjoyed you. You got a lot of great comments, Mr. Byrd. So I encourage you to go into the chat when it's over and see these comments, okay?
All right.
Yeah, I like your energy too.
Thank you.
So, Corona Daze Professional Development Group's mission is to increase marginalized groups' access to employment opportunities and representation in the workforce by providing our members with free training, mentorship, and other resources. CDPD was created in response to record unemployment and underemployment rates stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Byrd, can you tell us if you were ever marginalized? And that's not something you do to yourself. It would be somebody else, you know, some small-minded person. And if so, how?
Of course. I mean,
Okay.
of course, not to tap on the young Black American male. I mean, of course, you're always marginalized. But what I was taught, my parents always instilled in me, what is a margin? I mean, yeah, I can feel the energy. Yeah, I feel you attempting to. Now, okay, I'll answer that better. Now, have I been attempted to be marginalized?
All right, okay,
Yes.
I like it.
Yes, you can attempt to. But to succeed, no, you can't marginalize me because my parents have always instilled in me, and my grandparents have always instilled in me, you are the margin. So it's like, can't no one put you anywhere that you are not.
All right now.
And I am not inside anyone's box. So no, all I could do is perform. Once I perform, I mean, performance outweighs everything, right?
That's true. That is true.
You can't deny, you can't marginalize
I can show you better than I could tell you.
That's it. There is no margin when you have great performance. And that's what they lose.
What's on your hustling playlist? Give us some
Hustling
songs
playlist.
to add.
Oh man. So we have some D Smoke, California artist, Sun-Kissed Child. That's one of my favorites. I know Candace would be laughing if she heard this. Cause I'm like, yo, play. I'm always the one, wherever I am, you need to play that song. Sun-Kissed Child by D Smoke. A lot of, I mean, gotta have some Rick Ross. Gotta have some T.I.
Oh yeah, you Southern, all right. Rick
Ross,
Ross,
T.I. You gotta throw in some Marvin Gaye. Let me see. Marvin Gaye for sure. Yeah. Oh, well, Thelonious Monk.
Thelonious Monk. Okay.
I'm a Monk guy. So yeah, you know, it depends on where we are within the hustle, which hustle we're doing. If I have to be, you know, midnight with my hands, or if I'm moving around, it don't matter. It depends.
Right. So, Mr. Byrd, if you could go back, I don't know how old you are, I don't want to know, but if you could go back to 2000,
I'm 40. There's nothing wrong.
Okay, so if you could go back to the 20-year-old Corey Byrd, knowing what you know now about being an entrepreneur, what would you tell yourself 20 years ago that you didn't know then that you know now?
Oh boy. I would tell myself, patience is everything. Endurance matters. And capitalize more on your time.
Yeah, that time, we can't get it back, right?
Can never get time back. And it's not like so much of wasting time, it's utilizing it definitely. You know, like I could have spent too much time on one thing when it was time for me to move on, or I moved on too quick when I was supposed to, you know, kind of been a little bit more patient and let again the universe, because you know we can only get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And so I used to always kind of like get a little in, like it's not working. It's time to go, and miss it just like that. So I would say, yeah, patience, endurance, and the value of time.
Right. All right. Okay. So I have a comment I'm going to read, and then I'm going to give you my last question.
All right.
Candace's whole crew is so down to earth. They deliver and offer seamless, stress-free development advice. After listening to them, you feel like you can walk away and attain any goals.
Hey, if you don't have a mustard seed, you cannot proceed.
Okay.
You feel
Yeah.
me? And that's another thing. Get ready for mustard seed gang. Mustard seed gang apparel coming. If you don't have faith, I mean, it's just in life, especially in business, but in life, if you don't have faith, don't do it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the person like, nah, just don't stick to go ahead and go clock in. Make sure your check come in every 2 weeks. You feel me? That's where you need to be, because if you don't have faith and you don't believe that you can move a mountain, if you can't move that mountain in your head, just stay where you are. And I appreciate that. Hey, we are the energy. And that's one thing I pride myself on. I have that energy to share. I am the outlet. Plug in. It's like I want us as a people, as a whole, to tap into each other. I mean, we all are here to help each other. We all here to help one another. And that's one reason why I jumped on board with Joseph Consulting Firm, because it was like the energy that Candace gives, you have to match it or you have to bring more. Because great people get tired too. And I'll be like, well, I call her sis, and I'm like, yo, sis, man, hey, I need some juice, yo. And she be like, no, little brother. She like, oh, I need some juice. Yo, I'm like, and that's the only way positive energy stretches and it expands. If you share positive, I share, but we
put it together.
we got to do it.
Yeah. Okay. I have my last question is, if we only have one takeaway from tonight, what would that be? What would you want us to take away? If it was only one thing we could walk away with?
One thing, walking away from all of this, and I would say, know that you're great. Small things to a giant, and you are the energy.
All right. I love it. All right, Corona Daze Professional Development Group. I'm going to ask Mr. Byrd to come back again and tell us his story, right? Not this, but give us a career chat, because we started chatting. That's why we were a minute late. And I think he has a good story for us. So I'm going to ask him to come back and give us a career journey chat. But I thank you for giving us your time tonight. You got really great response. And of course, I'm asking you to come back before you even closed out. So, I want you to come back.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you. I want to thank you too for allowing me to share just the little bit of knowledge I have trying to be great. I really thank you for allowing me to come on your platform and share the little things that I know and just enjoy the energy that you have with your community. I really appreciate it. I thank you, and I will be looking for my invitation.
Yes, to come back. All right now. All right, Mr. Byrd, have a good night.
All right, you too now.
Thank you.